Hey everybody, so today I'm working on some drainage. This right here is part of our front yard, I guess. This is the area that we did this little clear cutting to let the sun come in so that it can come in and heat our home, which is going to be straight ahead right in front of the garden in the winter time. We need to get that sun in here so we can warm the house passively. So we had to do a little bit of cutting. What that left us with was an area that we could just bury copious amount of stumps. I think we have like something like 40, maybe 40 or 50 stumps and root balls buried in this area. And what happened is the soil isn't very good here. It's mostly clay. Like a foot down, it just turns into total clay. So what's happening is we've totally disrupted the ground here. We have totally eliminated the topsoil, and we just got this mucky clay stuff on top, which doesn't percolate water. So what ends up happening is it pools. On top of the fact that we don't have proper drainage here because we literally just buried those stumps and left a pile of dirt on top of that, clay dirt on top of that last fall. So we have to create some drainage here. Maybe a swale to catch a lot of this water and hold it and help, and plant plants there that will soak up all that water and help mitigate how much is going to be runoff. So we got all this water coming down this hillside over here, and it makes its way down to the flat here with really nothing to soak it up and nowhere to go because it doesn't perk into the ground because of all this clay dirt, and then just runs off over to the road. You see all this water pooling up, and then eventually it builds up enough so it ends up draining down this way. So we got water that comes onto the road, and this winter you can see did some damage to our road. Not too bad, just a few little holes, but ultimately there's a slight grade, so it works its way down this way, going down to here, and then here it just really flattens out, so it builds up in this area. And used to just, actually it did a little bit right here go across the other side. You can see some pooling there, but it builds up, and because the ground even comes up higher and dams it here, and then eventually it makes its way down to this culvert and then out to there. So what I'm doing today is I got this excavator. I want to dig a trench down, so I'm going to try my very best to ever so slightly grade it up so I get that positive grade runoff going down this way. But it's a long ways to over there. I mean, we're talking like 150 feet with, how much drop is there? Like a foot or two, maybe, not even. So it's a real challenge. So I'm okay with water pooling up and sitting off on the side of the road during heavy rain, after a heavy rain, if it takes a long time to drain down to here. That's totally fine with me as long as it doesn't go onto the road, because going onto the road is what causes damage to the road and gets our cars all muddy. So that's what I'm doing. I'm digging this trench out. I'm going to do my very best without a computerized system to know exactly what grade I'm at, and just eyeballing it, and I'm going to go all the way down that way. And then the last step of this area, once I've controlled this water, is to build up this road a little bit higher. I'm going to get some more material to do that. And hopefully, with the permaculture stuff that we want to do and the swale or whatever, hopefully we'll just be mitigating how much water actually drains through here. This is a Terex TC50. I think it's like an 11,000 pound machine. It's okay. Honestly, I like the Komatsu's better. This thing's a little jumpy. It'd be really nice if it had a thumb. Thumb makes it real nice to pick stuff up. This thing is just clumsy as all hell. I've filmed me digging trenches. There's really nothing new here. I'm just going in and staying shallow, trying to keep a certain grade. So if I was to dig too deep and I was to like reverse drainage, I would see that. But it's still all going that way. There's no way that I'm going to be able to have a positive enough drainage to not have stagnant water. Stagnant water in this situation after a big rain is something that is just there's no way to avoid it. in a situation like this. Believe me, if I could have everything drained perfectly and have no stagnant water, I would. And if you guys know how to do that, please tell me. God, I love running an excavator. Man, I'm like a robot. Just like machine's like an extension of my body. It's so freaking cool. It's starting to get a little tricky because I'm getting really shallow now. I'm just trying to take like a decent chunk on my first swipe because I kind of have to in order to actually scoop anything into the bucket. And then on my second swipe, I'm just kind of dragging it all and smoothing, leveling out the bottom of that trench. I can't even see the bottom of the trench, so I have to do it by feel. Hi, Tina. That's a wave. Are you gonna wave back? Can't you see I'm waving at you? There you go. Hi.
Can you turn that off?
Sure.
I don't want to record everything.
Alright, so I'm like 75, 80 feet now, and I'm like very, very shallow. I'm literally just trying to scrape the muck off the top. So guys, things are looking really good here. This shallow trench is not perfect, and I still intend to raise up the road a little bit with some more material, but it's totally solving the flooding problem. It's like the final little piece. All the water that comes down from this hill, even though I've captured it right over there and sending it down to that culvert, as you've seen in the past, we still have water coming down this hill. And especially now that we've clear cut this small area, there's not a lot of absorption going on at the moment, so it's all just coming right down onto the road. But this thing, this shallow, really like almost no grade at all trench is capturing it. The only water we see are from the damage that happened over the winter, these little collection ponds. But other than that, the road is now dry during a nice good rain, which is a huge improvement. I'm not super happy with this trench because there is stagnant water for a few days or even up to a week after a good rain. But it's not enough for mosquitoes to do their thing, it looks like. Been watching it, and maybe once I build up the road a little bit I can... No, see, that's not going to help. There is just no grade to work with here. So I would rather have the water sitting in a trench on the side of the road than sitting on the road. I think that may be about as good as it gets. I guess what I could do actually is do like a French drain type thing and just dig it a little deeper and put gravel in there. So the stagnant water is sitting between gravel mostly. So there is no like ponding that mosquitoes could get into. But yeah, just another look at this drainage doing its thing. Trickling down that trench, all meeting here, going into this culvert. And then onto the other side, the water draining out into yet another almost zero grade scenario. And then we have this big sycamore that decided to take a dump on us during a windy day.